meet y'all if we haven't. Today I'm just going to go over the Toby Brantley Park, and necessarily we knew it was more about the historical aspects, but also diving into the later generations that are to come. So I'm mostly focused on the youth and the children that'll be there, especially because it's right across the elementary school. So kind of just focusing on community health, especially with childhood development and childhood obesity. First, if you don't know where this park is, it's on 295 North Griffith Street. It's right on the outer skirts of Eupora, and it's 8.23 acres. Oh, I have my arrow way. And then just a little bit of history. It used to be called Early Grove after Eupora UD for her southern hospitality and charm. It was later named after her, Eupora. And then in 1966, the park was sold for $2,700 to Mr. Brantley. And then just going on about his life, in 1976, he opened up his own barbershop right down the street, which was super amazing. And then I also wanted to hit on sustainability. I feel like a lot of times we think of sustainability as something that's just ecological and never social and economical. So I just wanted to hit on some of those points as well of what we could do. Ecologically, we could always teach people about native plants, stormwater management, just things that we can do to better the environment, the park, and the town itself. Socially, just developing more social skills, especially in the youth when they're developing a little bit more, and just providing areas for gathering, as well as economically, creating some jobs part-time for students, and just getting some revenue for the town. During my site analysis, which was so fun, y'all, loved it, getting to walk around, see it, see the terrain changes was really amazing. We got to see right over here, near where there was only one entrance. We have the elementary school, which could cause some noise at some point if they're outside playing, and it was just a major landmark. We also have the existing basketball courts that are ADA accessible but not regulation size. We have a creek that leads up to a sewer, and then we also just have a random tree in the middle, which was gorgeous. Now, kind of the goals and objectives. Obviously, like I said, social development was huge for me, economic growth, and I wanted to better the health, as well as just knowing the history and gathering the community. As we all know, we always love to gather, especially in the South, and this would just serve as a central hub for everybody right on the outer skirts, especially for the Churchill community. And then my SWOT analysis, if you saw me last time, you know I had a bunch of pictures. This one is a little more wordy, but it has just the same meaning as last time. We have the strengths of, we have that sunlight, we have a mostly clear site, the elevation changes aren't that crazy. We have many opportunities like adding a community pool, adding a lake, having a storm shelter. There are some weaknesses, like with the sun, there wasn't a lot of shade. Where could you go if you wanted to cool down a little bit? And then we always have the threats of the speeding drivers, especially near the elementary school, as well as the severe weather that comes by every once in a blue moon. Now just design intent, what I kind of wanted to do. Obviously, like I've been saying, the park should just be for everybody. It should be inclusive, ADA accessible, no matter where you come from, who you are, just making it a reliable place for you to go and feel comfortable. And then the community input. We love hearing from y'all every time we met, and I felt like it was important to group it into groups of 3. There were conflicts that led to wants and what led to needs. We knew we had a conflict of no storm shelter. That wasn't a want, that was a need. We also knew we wanted some more historical aspects. We want to teach the younger generations about the Brantleys, about the town, and that was super important. Starting diagrams, there was a lot of changes that happened in between. At first, there was one parking lot, one entry, all the basketball courts were in one spot, everything was spread out, nowhere, you couldn't get anywhere with maintenance. So then I dove into some case studies of what could I do to better my design process and elements, and when I was doing it, I took those 3 aspects of sustainability. This first one goes over the social aspect. This is a park that's located in Tennessee, not too far away, and it has a lot of integrated play equipment, so adults can play with children, which often shows children playing with adults. often helped their development, which was really good. And it also made sure that everyone was included in the park and could do as they please. The next one is in Georgia, also pretty close to us. And this one was just more economical. It made a lot of revenue for Atlanta, which we all know and love. And that was really good. And then this one that's based out of China, which was mostly about stormwater management. And with all the rain we get and the heavy downpours, it was super important to kind of hint on that and see not only what we're doing in the United States, but what they're doing elsewhere to battle these different ecological effects. Now, the master plan. She's changed a little, but so we'd still have this front entryway right by the school, but it would be paired with 2 walkways from the school with painted murals. So it's fun for the kids. They know where to stop and look and go. It would then lead into the basketball courts we already have, but painting a fun design over it that still flows and just gives it a little bit more of a fun energy when the kids enter. And then a learning garden as well. You would have your welcome center located across the main parking lot, as well as having the storm shelter, and it is a multi-purpose building as well, so it could be used throughout the times you are not in a storm. Then you would have a relaxation area here, whether you just want to relax, cool down, eat outside. Also having a lake with a little bridge over it, a little picture moment for people to post their pictures. Hey, I'm at the Toby Brindley Park, come look at it. Then you would go up north and you would have the memorial gazebo, which was super important, which I will show a little later on. Having some more resting areas with picnic tables, hammocks was super important. Having this secondary little parking lot with only a couple spaces in it was super important because it has this turnaround, almost like a roundabout, but a little less round, just in case somebody was dropping off their kids, picking up their kids, just going for a quick game of tennis. And there's also a bus stop located right here, just for the ease of the community being able to transport in and out. We then have the tennis court, which has pickleball painted within it, the regulation size basketball court, a playground area, a community pool where you can do actual laps in case the school needs to do any swim meets. And I know we love a splash pad, but I love a slide, and I know kids love them too. So instead of just a regular splash pad, one with some slides, just so it could give a little bit more of a theme park. And then also having a secondary entry on the other side with its own parking lot, just so everyone can get around easily and there's an easy flow of traffic. And then this is my section, and I did it right along here. So it would show where the bridge was, seating, the gazebo, and just showing the little bit of elevation change that is within the site. And then going on to some of my renderings that I picked for y'all. First was the learning garden, which is right outside of the school, as you can see on the key plan to the bottom. It's really close, so it's important that we teach the generations that come after us about native plants, why they're important, what we can do with them, and that they are beautiful. So being able to do that was really important, as well as adding a bunch of lights, just in case it is later in the day. You always want to make sure everyone is safe and sound. And then this is the resting area next to the main parking lot, just for if somebody wants to sit down, relax. Inside is a rounded bench with some planting in the middle, and then just different seating around, just for a change of posture for everybody. This would be the memorial gazebo, which I've showed y'all before my sketch, which is still on the screen. The Brantleys would be put sitting down on a bench in bronze, holding hands, showing the love that they have for each other in the town, just so people could go sit with them, feel the importance, and just overall learn and understand the history of what they did for Eupora itself. And then obviously a playground area with inclusive equipment, just so everyone can go and have their fun, whether you're a parent with your child or grandchild or babysitting. It's just really important to go outside and just gain a little bit of sun. And then I just wanted to say thank y'all to the community. It's been so amazing getting to work on this project with y'all, and thank y'all for letting us into your life, letting us see Eupora, and I'm just overall thankful. So thank you, and is there any questions, comments, concerns?